Welcome to this explainer from the Fun Archive. Okay, let's be real for a second. Every 4 years, you and literally millions of other people suddenly become completely unapologetically obsessed with football for exactly 1 month. Have you ever wondered why? Well, today we're diving into the profound psychological reasons behind this global phenomenon. We're going to break down the fascinating science of your brain's behavior during the World Cup, and I promise you by the end of this, you will look at your own fandom in a completely different way. So, are you a fake fan? Let's tackle this big question right out of the gate. You might feel a little bit guilty for going out, buying a bright, expensive jersey, screaming your lungs out at the TV, and then totally forgetting the sport even exists the second the tournament ends. You might even label yourself a fake fan. But here's the truth. You aren't faking anything. Your brain is actually just responding to a perfectly designed psychological masterpiece. Section 1. The 4-year fan. We're going to kick things off by looking at the surface behavior of the casual fan. But spoiler alert, it actually masks a deep-seated human need that has almost nothing to do with the sport of football itself. It's really all about how your brain processes connection, rarity, and identity. Think about it. Normal you might be a quiet, serious person, totally uninterested in sports. But World Cup you? Face-painted, screaming, suddenly a passionate tactician. The tournament offers this amazing temporary identity shift. It allows you to use that brightly colored jersey as a literal costume. For a few weeks, you have total psychological permission to let loose. It's incredibly freeing, and the best part is, you know you can safely just return to your normal routine when it's all over. Now, the crucial point here comes down to the scarcity principle. This is a psychological phenomenon where people place a much higher value on an event just because it's rare. I mean, if the World Cup happened every single week, you wouldn't care nearly as much, right? The long 4-year wait builds massive hype. Your brain instantly flags this event as a rare, highly valuable commodity. You feel like you absolutely cannot miss it, because missing it feels like you're missing out on a major, unrepeatable historical moment. Section 2. Finding a temporary tribe. Let's see how this all builds into our ancient, hardwired need for social survival. Because humans are deeply wired to belong to a group, back in ancient times, sticking together literally meant staying alive. The tournament gives your brain a massive sense of safety by letting you join a temporary tribe, and it does this in 3 really clever ways. First up, it's a low-effort connection. You get all the warmth of a community without any of the exhausting year-round responsibility. Second, social contagion kicks in. Everyone at the office, everyone in your group chat is talking about the games. Your brain naturally wants to fit in, so you watch just to survive socially and not be left out. And finally, the bandwagon effect. This allows you to attach your own self-esteem to a winning team. You support the winners to feel successful, and hey, if they lose, you can just shrug and say you never really liked them anyway. It's the perfect, harmless boost to your ego. Section 3. Catching the crowd's emotion. You might think you're just independently enjoying the game from the comfort of your couch, but your brain is actually doing something much, much more complex. It's actively hijacking the feelings of the 50,000 screaming fans inside that stadium. Enter mirror neurons. These are special brain cells that literally make you feel what other people are feeling. They fire up when you act, but also when you watch someone else do the same thing. So the key takeaway here is that even if you don't care at all about the 2 countries playing, these mirror neurons pull you right into the raw electric energy of the crowd. You physically feel the nerve-wracking tension of a penalty kick or the pure joy of a goal. It makes it virtually impossible for your brain to stay emotionally neutral. Just think about how a typical match actually flows. Minute 10, slow pacing. By minute 80, maybe a little boredom sets in. But then, minute 90 brings a massive dopamine flood with a last-second goal. Dopamine is the chemical that makes you feel rewarded, and this sudden, unpredictable spike is absolutely thrilling. It acts like a highly addictive chemical rush that keeps you hooked, sitting through match after match, chasing that exact same feeling. Section 4. The perfect psychological storyteller. Because beyond the biology of it all, we have to look at the narrative. To your brain, the World Cup isn't just a sporting event. It operates exactly like a high-stakes, big-budget blockbuster movie. You seriously don't even need to know the offside rule to get hooked on this perfect narrative. There are clear heroes and villains. We're hardwired to root for the underdog because, subconsciously, we see our own daily struggles in that smaller team fighting a massive superpower. Plus, the tournament acts as a time machine for nostalgia, bringing back warm childhood memories of watching games with family. And finally, it's a fantastic shortcut to competence. For a few weeks, you memorize player names, you fiercely debate tactics, and it gives you this deeply satisfying temporary feeling of being a brilliant insider. Section 5. Collective effervescence. As we approach the climax of the tournament, we experience a rare sociological magic trick that honestly briefly cures modern loneliness. You have absolutely experienced this feeling. It's called collective effervescence. Think about being in a crowded bar or hearing your entire neighborhood completely erupt in cheers at the exact same second. Sharing that intense emotion simultaneously with total strangers creates a powerful, magnetic bond. For just a few seconds, you feel a profound connection to humanity that you rarely, if ever, find anywhere else in modern life.
And why is that so relieving? Well, the real world is complicated, right? It's divided, full of daily arguments over politics and money, and right and wrong are constantly debated. But the football world? It offers a deeply comforting shared reality. For 1 month, the whole world looks at the exact same green field and agrees on the exact same rules. You clearly see who played fair, who cheated, who won, and who lost. That absolute moral clarity is incredibly refreshing for a tired, overstimulated mind.
Section 6. The post-tournament withdrawal. Eventually, we reach the end of the explainer. The tournament concludes, the stadium lights turn off, and you are left to face your normal life once again. For exactly 1 month, just 1 month, your brain was treated to these highly soothing, built-in rituals. Gathering with friends at the exact same time, sitting in your favorite spot on the couch, buying those specific snacks. Your brain absolutely loves that kind of predictable structure because it gives you something fun to look forward to every single day. Psychologists call our focus on the ending the finaleist act. Your brain zeroes in on the final match because it knows the story is wrapping up. You watch with intense focus. But when you wake up the next day, those regular hits of excitement, connection, and dopamine are suddenly just gone. This sudden drop creates a mild but very real psychological withdrawal. You might actually feel a little sad or empty, which honestly just proves how deeply this event impacted your psychology. So the next time you put on that bright jersey, are you just watching a ball get kicked, or are you answering a deep human need to belong? Never feel bad about being a 4-year fan. You aren't faking it. You are simply allowing your brain to experience a beautifully constructed sanctuary of storytelling, connection, and joy. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and next time you hear that whistle blow, ask yourself, what is your brain really cheering for?